the announcer for the Hudson Valley Renegades, and many others, host of the Clubhouse, the 4 p.m. break, the Meet the Beatles on 1490 WGCH, broadcast instructor at the Connecticut School of Broadcasting, and diehard Yankee and Steeler fan, Rob Adams, everybody. Thanks for coming on.
Hey guys,
Rob,
how are you?
Is there anything you don't do? I mean, do you do kids' birthday parties? What else is
Hey,
going on?
that's a great question. Not necessarily kids' birthday parties, but if I get asked to do, a kids' sporting event, yeah, I'd probably go and broadcast it. I have a blast doing whatever I can, and if it makes people happy, that's my goal.
That's great. Well, you have the greatest broadcast voice. If I could have you record my answering machine on my phone, I would.
I would happily do it. That's like something my hero Vin Scully would have done, so why not?
Yeah. All right. Well,
we got to get you on Cameo, Rob.
Yeah, you should
We
start.
got to get you doing cameos.
Okay.
All right, so we'll start you off with this. As an announcer for the Hudson Valley Renegades, you've had the opportunity to see some of the Yankees' top prospects up close in 2024 and 2025. Top prospect George Lombard Jr. had a couple of cups of coffee with the Renegades. What were your takeaways from watching him, and when can we expect him in the Bronx?
I thought he looked really good in Hudson Valley. The defense was there. The offense is clearly there as well. Uh, Look, it wouldn't surprise me, especially as Ryan McMahon continues to struggle. It wouldn't surprise me if it was sooner rather than later because he can easily move over to third base. You can run with Volpe at shortstop. I know that's not ideal, but that's what you can easily do. Volpe at short, move Lombard Jr. over to third. Maybe you build a nice little left side of the infield there, but I can see it. If it doesn't happen this year, then I think it's got to happen in 27. The tools are there for sure.
I would assume it's a numbers game at this point. They want to keep him down for as long as possible before bringing him up. That's got to be it because, like you said, I've seen him play too. He seems to be super talented. He seems to be ready to play in the big leagues.
Couldn't agree more. He had that thing. Now, here's the scary part about that. Volpe had that thing as well. I saw it with my own eyes in 21, 22. I got to see him as a Renegade in 21, and I thought he was a can't miss, and there have been obviously big misses with Anthony Volpe. There have been some nice moments, World Series home run, all those kinds of things, but the inconsistency, definitely a problem. The defensive miscues, definitely a problem. So what we see at the minor league level doesn't always translate. I'm still holding out hope for Volpe, and I'm holding out big hope for George Lombard Jr. I think he's going to be tremendous. And by the way, if you guys have not seen it, since we're talking about the Hudson Valley Renegades, they're picking up a couple of big names to pitch later this week. Garrett Cole will pitch Thursday, and a guy named Carlos Rodon will pitch on Friday in Hudson Valley.
That's awesome.
Okay.
I mean, we could definitely talk about
Nice.
Anthony Volpe all day long. I mean, I'm of the mindset that it comes down to maybe coaching or maybe what he's trying to do. I think he just needs to try to get on base, stop with the home run garbage, just get on base and steal bases. That's what I think his job should be. I don't think he should be trying to swing for the fences. He strikes out way too much, and that just gives me the impulse that he's trying to overachieve. He's trying to do too much. Hit the ball on the ground, beat it out, hit it in the holes. It's just simple hitting things I think would help him out.
How much of that is organizational philosophy though at this point?
Yeah,
Like how much of it's him, how much of it is the Yankees?
I don't know, and seems like that might be the issue, right? Is that he's doing what they want him to do, he's just not executing it the way they want him to execute, and that's why probably they haven't tried to trade him. They haven't sent him down, which I think would have really helped him. I really think it would have helped him if they would have sent him down. Just retool. It's not a bad thing. Mickey Mantle got sent down. You get sent down sometimes. You got to work on some things. It's not a big deal. And expectations is you're a professional and you're going to come back up and you're going to fix whatever the problem was. But it seems like Cashman holds him a little too close in regard. I don't know what's going on there.
You bring up Mantle getting sent down, and obviously we're talking, 75 years ago, 1951, but it kicked Mickey Mantle in the fanny it really reset his career because he was sent down and he was feeling sorry for himself. And his father came and said, I'm going to pack your bags, take you home. We'll throw you in the mine. You're not going to be a ball player. And it made Mantle change his everything. And Mickey Mantle went on to obviously a legendary Hall of Fame career.
Pretty sure they won the World Series that year too, I think.
They sure did, over a team that in the Giants had won the pennant famously with a big home run.
Right. So it's not the end of the world. But to the current roster, which boasts 6 of the Yankees' top 30 prospects, according to MILB.com. Who has impressed you so far? And is there a name Yankee fans may not know that they should know?
I think the first name that comes to my mind, there's a pitcher named Pico Khan that I would keep an eye on. Now he's on the injured list right now, so obviously that's a concern, but I've been impressed with him. I think he's got good stuff. I think it can translate to the majors. Obviously, at high A, it's hard to automatically assume you're going to make the big time. But Hudson Valley was at one time a short season low A franchise back in the days under the Rays and even the Texas Rangers. You didn't stand a good chance of seeing those guys make the major leagues. They were just nice ball players. Once in a while, you'd see a first-round draft come up. He might get a little playing time, and then he'd be gone. You'd get an Evan Longoria who would hit balls basically to Albany from there. It was incredible. But you don't get that very often in the low A, but those days are gone, and they don't allow their short seasons anymore. So now at high A, you're seeing guys that are going to make it. So I do think that, Pico Khan is one, if he can get healthy, I think a name that you can keep an eye on for sure.
Okay, that's exciting. So over to the big club, as the Yankees are in the thick of the AL East race. Ben Rice and Aaron Judge have carried the offensive load, while Max Fried, Cam Schittler, and Will Warren have been effective on the mound. However, unlike the National League, no team in the American League is truly out in front of the competition. So who needs to step up so the Yankees can take it to the next level?
Well, I think you need your stars to be stars. Judge's batting average early on concerned me. He tends to be a slow starter. Is he still going to give you your numbers? Yes, but you can't afford for him to not give you the numbers. So you still need to have what is becoming just an off-the-charts career. I mean, you think about it with Aaron Judge. He keeps hitting the ball the way that he does. You're going to start putting him in a category where we're not only talking 400 home runs, but keep talking with 5 and 6, and dare I say even 700 home runs for this guy. That's what
Rob,
he has.
I want to put you on this. I want to put you on the spot. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Go ahead.
Is he the best right-handed hitter of our generation?
It's hard to say that when Albert Pujols existed,
Okay.
Guys like that.
Would you put him on that level? He could get there and pass there. And Manny Ramirez type name, like Jimmy Fox was a good right-handed hitter, but I can argue that he's past Jimmy Fox with his OPS. Like he's a home run power hitter. Like he's a problem.
And let us not forget a guy named Hank Aaron either, who obviously was an amazing right-handed hitter, an insane ball player. But I do think staying in this generation, in this era, I think Judge is on an amazing trajectory. He stays so balanced. He kind of lets the noise go over his head. He has a coolness about him that is so impressive. And look, if A-Rod had kept his nose out of the stupidity he got himself into, that's a whole different conversation.
Sure.
Judge is in that conversation to be the greatest right-handed hitter we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And we've never had that sniff of impropriety with him. But I mean, when we're thinking about this, right? Like Bellinger needs to start hitting to the back of his baseball card, but the left side of the infield, I don't know. Because you got Caballero, you have Rosario, you have McMahon, you have Volpe coming back. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. And how long do you stick with Ryan McMahon? I know you traded for him last year. Like I don't know what the
He's doing
plan
what
is for that.
he's doing what you brought him here to do. He's a Gold Glove infielder, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Who is a hole in the lineup?
Yeah, exactly. No, moving back to your question, because I don't want to ignore that. I brought up Judge. Bellinger, to me, is a big piece. Giancarlo's got to stay healthy. What are the odds? But Grisham, can Ben Rice keep this up? He has played at such a nutty level, and I got to see him at Hudson Valley, too. He was impressive there, and I hope he keeps it up because he's such a grounded, good dude. Austin Wells isn't giving you enough. I think that's a big thing. Yeah. You need more behind the plate. You need more from Austin Wells for sure.
Well, what
about the possibility of moving? What about moving Rice behind the plate and then going to get a first baseman? Because Rice he had a couple cups of coffee of catcher last year, and he wasn't bad, but he's learning on the job.
Yeah, exactly. He is learning on the job. I think pitchers like throwing to Wells, so that's part of it. You have to have that relationship with a pitching staff, and I think the guys do like Wells. I think they like Rice, too. Rice is a very grounded guy, so I think you've got options there. But why is Paul Goldschmidt on this team if he's not going to play? And he has barely played at all.
And what about, you have Grisham playing center field, hitting 167. I'm pretty sure Jason Dominguez can do that, right? Could we call up Jason Dominguez, and could he be just a center fielder? I don't understand why they're killing this guy.
Can we stop with these guys we're burying in the minor leagues? Jason Dominguez going, all the way back to Jabba Chamberlain and the way they jerked him around.
They're Clint Frazier in this guy.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Jason Dominguez was supposed to be on a different planet, a.k.a. his nickname, the Martian. And we have seen the slightest glimpses of it. Can we see some more, please?
Rookie card still going for 450, which I don't understand.
Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
And when are we going to see Spencer Jones up here? Like, what is the deal? Why are we hiding this guy? Is he Sid Finch?
Like, they don't strike out enough?
What's the story?
That's the problem. Spencer Jones, when he hits it, it's a thing of beauty. The problem is there's a lot of swing and miss in there. And that's
But if you're not going to bring him up and you're not going to trade him, what are we doing?
Yeah. What's the deal?
What's the deal?
I agree. I think he's a guy that needs to also get a look sometime, and I would say sometime this year. Let's stop beating around the bush. Get him up here and let's see, because he's already proven he could do it at single A, at double A, at triple A. Let's go.
Right, because he is what he is at this point, right? It's not like he's just going to stop striking out, right? It just doesn't happen overnight. And it's just part of his game. It's part of what he is. What at best case scenario, he's a 260 hitter, right? You would say?
I would say that. I don't think he's judging in that he's going to win a batting crown, but he's judging in the way he can hit a home run.
260, 30 home runs, 80 to 90 RBI, right? That's what we're looking at.
Come on, you'd sign for that right now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
In this day and age of Major League Baseball, you would sign on for 230, 20, 95, but you'd have to live with 150 strikeouts. Like, that's kind of where you are in Major League Baseball right now.
Yeah, the median.
It makes me crazy. I don't like strikeouts. I know it's part of the reality of modern baseball, but I do not like strikeouts. To me, it's a wasted at bat.
Completely. But moving over from baseball to the gridiron. So we're truly at the end of an era here in Pittsburgh. Since you're a Steelers fan, we're just going to jump right in. For the first time since 2006, Mike Tomlin is not going to be patrolling the sidelines. So the standard is the standard, but the standard is now gone, and it's a new guy, right? Pittsburgh native, former Packer, Cowboy head coach Mike McCarthy is helming the team now, and he has big shoes to fill, but he's used to big expectations. He's used to big markets in the NFL. So what can the Steelers and the Steelers fans expect from the first season post Mike Tomlin?
Well, I think there's a qualified answer there in that who is, and don't get me going here, don't get my blood pressure hot, but who's the quarterback? Who's the flipping quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers? Can we get an answer, please? Sounds like Will Howard's the number one guy right now, but and I liked him in preseason, but preseason tells you nothing. I think the Steelers could be good offensively. McCarthy's good at building an offense. He built that with Rodgers when they were together in Green Bay. He had moments with Dak down in Dallas. So I like where they could be offensively. To me, you've got to have better line play, and that's normally a Steelers' strength. It has not been in recent years. And then, obviously, the defense. You want a steel curtain. You've got to have a steel curtain. You're the Pittsburgh Steelers. You've got to be able to do that. I think you can expect a little more balance, but I do think you can expect more offensive fireworks if they get the right personnel in place. And Mike Tomlin moving over to TV, I think that's no surprise. He's heading to Sunday Night Football, which I think he'll be good on there. At least I hope he will. But I'm not one of those guys that immediately looks to fire a coach or a manager when things go wrong. I know people are screaming about the Met manager now. They're always screaming about Aaron Boone. And I heard a ton of screaming about Mike Tomlin. Now you got your wish. Mike Tomlin's gone. Here comes Mike McCarthy. Okay, now show me.
100%. But here we go. You mentioned it, so let's talk about it. So we can't talk about the Steelers. We can't talk about Mike McCarthy without mentioning Aaron Rodgers. You already invoked his name. So say his name and he appears. So old man Rodgers had a pretty good year last year, throwing 24 tutties, only 7 picks, but he's doing it again. He's doing the Brett Favre, will he, won't he? He's holding the Steelers hostage. He's non-committal about whether or not he's coming back. He did. After the draft, maybe he'll say something, but Mason Rudolph and Will Howard is your quarterback room right now. So Rodgers is also the guy who got pissed when the Packers drafted Jordan Love. So do the Steelers owe this guy anything? And should they move on? And should they draft a quarterback?
They don't owe Rodgers anything. I know he played well, not great, not MVP level, but as you said, 24 touchdowns, 7 picks. He played ball control, essentially. He was a good locker room guy. Everyone seemed to like him on the Steelers campus, on the Steelers team, in the clubhouse, all that stuff. They liked him. But he also jerks people around. This is just ridiculous year after year with this stuff. To me, if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, first of all, I think they know. I think they already have an answer. If they don't draft a quarterback this weekend, then that tells me Rodgers is probably coming back. Because as much as Will Howard has shown me some things, you can't convince me that Will Howard and, God forbid, Mason Rudolph are going to be running your offense for you. At that point, you are basically going to stink for Arch Manning or whatever you're going to do to get a quarterback in 27.
Who has the leverage, Rob? Who's got the leverage? Is it Aaron Rodgers or the Steelers?
It's probably Rodgers in his mind. And everything with Rodgers is in his mind. He's had a Hall of Fame career. He's won by the way, he's won 1 Super Bowl. Yes. Let's stop thinking Aaron Rodgers is, I don't want to say Tom Brady because I have my own issues with Tom Brady, but let's stop saying Aaron Rodgers is some, God. He is a great quarterback. He is a great player of the position in a team sport. No doubt about it. What he did with the Packers was great. He also had some flameouts in the postseason. Keep that in mind.
So if you're watching the draft this weekend and the Steelers come up, I think they're picking at 21.
Yeah, I believe
and
so.
they take Ty Simpson. Will you turn this TV off, or you're like, all right, okay?
I would not turn the TV off. I keep thinking they're going to go receiver. You got a guy like Omar Cooper Jr. out of Indiana. You got a guy like that you can go with as a wide receiver, and then you've got the Penn State offensive lineman whose name I am not going to try to say because I am not prepared to. But
I know you're talking about 65. I think is his number.
That sounds right. Build the line, get a receiver. I think both of those guys are in play, but 21 is a mixed bag. Let's face it, the last time the Steelers were in this neighborhood, or at least one of the last times, they took Kenny Pickett. Do you see me hanging my head?
They really did strike
is,
out.
that is
Struck
Super
out
Bowl
on all their
champion Kenny
quarterbacks.
Pickett, mind you.
They struck out on all their quarterback draft picks. I mean, Mason Rudolph was a miss too. Like, let's not forget that.
I can think of 2 hits they've had as quarterback drafts: Bradshaw and Roethlisberger. That's it.
Did they draft Cordell Stewart as a quarterback, or did they draft him? They convert him. I don't remember.
Because
Cordell had a.
They drafted him to be a slash, basically. That was a Bill Cowher kind of creation.
Well, and Hines Ward was a quarterback, right? And they drafted him to be a wide receiver, though, right?
Jesus.
Hines was a heck of an athlete, and by the way, should get much more Hall of Fame love than he ever does.
Yeah, that's an interesting political spectrum, that is, that Hall of Fame vote.
Oh, sure is. Every Hall of Fame is, though.
Yeah.
You're right about that, 100%. So, I mean, you've already addressed it. You know, the draft is Thursday. Steelers have the 21st pick. So, if you're Omar Khan, right, what position are you targeting? It sounds like you're looking, you know, at wideouts. You're looking at line play. Like, but who is your guy? Like, who? If everything breaks right and your guy is there, who's the guy?
You know, I do a podcast with the former Steeler quarterback. He backed up Terry Bradshaw, Terry Hanratty, who is
that's awesome.
He's the best guy. He's in the College Football Hall of Fame, having played at Notre Dame. He and I have talked about all these things. And every time we talk draft, every time we talk about building the team, he says, I want linemen. And when Terry Hanratty tells me that, he gets it in my brain. I want the best lineman on the board. I want the best lineman. He feels that you can get a quarterback. You can get receivers. You can get running backs. You can get those skill players. You can. Linemen, no, you need linemen. And the Steelers should be getting the best linemen possible.
The other thing I would ask you is that, I mean, what kind of Steeler fan are you? Are you in a situation where you understand, like, this team needs to be rebuilt? Or are you thinking, oh, we are a player away, or we're 2 players away from, like, going to the Super Bowl? Like, where's your mindset here?
I am a realist. As a fan of any of my teams, it's always dealing in reality. And the reality is they have been, every year, without fail, they have been 10-7, 11-6, first round of the playoffs, and then an absolute butt kicking.
Right.
And I'm tired of it. You know, I was happy to see them make the playoffs. It's like, okay, I get to watch one more game. And then the Texans smack them around. So, no, I don't want that anymore. How could you ever want that? You know, it's not, it has never been enough for me to see my team just make it. I want a dog pile celebration at the end.
Yeah.
No, 100%. And it's been that treadmill, you're right. They've been on this treadmill for so long with Tomlin after that first year. And, you know, that's been the thing. It's like, you've been successful, but you haven't been the ultimate in successful. So it's like, you know, when's enough? But is Mike McCarthy really going to be the guy that delivers that to you? I mean, what honestly, like, think about his track record in Green Bay.
Yeah, he was good. I mean, McCarthy was good in Green Bay. He was good in Dallas too, but not good enough.
Nothing more than that.
Right.
So is it more of the same? Like, are you just getting more of the same here with just a different guy named Mike?
Like, that's what I'm concerned about. That is exactly what I'm concerned about.
A different guy named Mike.
A different guy named Mike, yeah. Except this Mike is from Pittsburgh.
This guy's from Pittsburgh. That's right.
Blue collar, drinking at the local, the whole 9 yards.
Where's my Iron City beer?
Yes, there we go. We got to get out to Pittsburgh sometime. I'm still trying to get to PNC.
Love it. It's the best.
Got to make that happen. But friend of the show, Rob Adams, thank you for coming on, brother. And plug what you need to plug. I know it's a lot, so I'm giving you a lot of time here. So where can we find you? What's going on?
Where can we find you, actually?
I try to stay busy and I try to stay out of trouble, which more often than not doesn't work. You can always find me on WGCH Radio, 4:00 Monday through Friday when I'm not doing a game. I do my show doubleheader. After that, any of the games I broadcast, you can go to Sports Engine Play or WGCH, or just go to robcasting.com. And it's there. I'm always bouncing from one thing to another. I did a lacrosse game before I came over to you guys tonight. So,
Nice.
but we do what we love, guys, right? You guys love doing this. That's why we keep doing it.
That's right.
100%. And you're still at CSB, right? How are classes going this semester?
I am. I was teaching both day and night classes, but I actually became a substitute teacher in Greenwich, Connecticut. So I've been putting a lot of my daytime hours into teaching elementary school kids, which has just been the best. They treat me like I'm this celebrity, which I am clearly not. But
yes, you are.
It's been
Stop
fun.
being modest.
It's been fun having these kids all, they climb on you and give you a hard time, but I've had a great laugh with it. So it's a lot of fun to do that, but I do still teach the night classes, and those have been going well. Nice students that want to learn, and I want to be able to pass along what I know about this business. And my thing is always to say to them, just don't take my job. That's it.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, I still remember my class there. It was Foxy and Cato, and like we had Senior Bob. We had a really good class that before they tried to shut us down. We had a really damn good class there. And you were one of our instructors. It was fantastic.
And I'm still in touch with some of those guys. You, and as you mentioned, Chris Kaling, Cato, and Nick Fox as well, in touch with all those guys. So happy to see everyone doing well.
100%. We got to do a CSB reunion. But if you want to be a member of the In Route, hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com. Slide in our DMs on IG at Fade Route Podcast, and drop us a line on X at Fade Route DNZ, and let us know. And you, yes, you could be next. Rob Adams, thank you for coming on, brother. And hopefully we will be in touch again soon.
Hope so, guys. Look forward to it. Thanks for having me.
Sweet.
Thank you. All right.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, you got it. Great to talk to you.
All right, just let him save it.
All right.